On one side of the street lived a man everyone thought was rich. Luxury SUV, beautiful house, designer clothes, expensive vacations. He looked exactly like the kind of person most people imagine when they think of wealth. Across the street lived another man. Most people barely noticed him. Older truck, simple house, ordinary life. If you ask the neighbors which one was wealthy, almost every person gave the same answer, and almost every person was wrong, because the man who looked rich was hiding a secret, and the man nobody noticed was hiding an even bigger one. The question is, how did an entire neighborhood misunderstand wealth for more than 20 years? Meet Michael. At first, his life looked like a success story, and in many ways it was. He worked hard, long hours, late nights, weekend calls, the kind of effort most people never see. Eventually, the promotions came, then the raises, then the bonuses. For the first time in his life, he had money left over after paying his bills. And that's when he faced a decision, the same decision millions of people face every year. He could use the extra money to build wealth, or he could use it to upgrade his lifestyle. Michael chose the upgrades. At first, they seemed harmless. A nicer car, a better neighborhood, a larger house. After all, he could afford the payment. At least, that's what everyone told him. The bank approved him. The dealership approved him. His friends congratulated him. Social media rewarded him. Every upgrade came with applause. And that's what made it dangerous, because nobody celebrates restraint. Nobody posts pictures of an emergency fund. Nobody brags about maxing out a retirement account. Nobody gets compliments for avoiding debt. The world rewards appearances, and Michael was learning how powerful those rewards could be. The new SUV felt amazing. The larger house felt amazing. The vacations felt amazing. The compliments felt amazing. For a while, everything felt amazing. Then something strange happened. The excitement started fading. The SUV that felt incredible 6 months ago started feeling normal. The dream house became the regular house. The expensive watch became just another watch. And suddenly, the things that once felt special no longer felt special. So Michael did what many people do. He upgraded again, and then again, and then again. Without realizing it, his income was increasing, but his expenses were increasing just as fast. Every raise already had a destination. Every bonus already had a purpose. Every extra dollar already belonged to a future payment. From the outside, Michael looked wealthier every year, but behind the scenes, something very different was happening. His lifestyle was growing faster than his freedom, and nobody noticed. Not the neighbors, not his friends, not even Michael, because when you're moving forward, it's hard to notice you're actually standing still, especially when everyone around you keeps telling you how successful you look. Meanwhile, across the street, Robert was making a very different set of decisions. Robert never looked wealthy. In fact, most people assumed he wasn't. His truck was old, his house was modest, his clothes were simple. Nothing about his life attracted attention, and for years, people quietly judged him because of it. Coworkers upgraded their vehicles. Robert kept driving the same truck. Friends moved into bigger houses. Robert stayed where he was. People spent money to impress strangers. Robert spent money buying assets. At times, even his own family questioned him. Why not upgrade? Why not enjoy the money? Why not live a little? The pressure was constant, because choosing long-term wealth often means looking unsuccessful in the short term, and that's a price most people aren't willing to pay. But Robert understood something most people never learn. Wealth isn't built during exciting moments. It's built during boring ones, month after month, year after year. While everyone else chased upgrades, Robert chased ownership. He invested consistently, not occasionally, not when the market felt safe, consistently. When markets were up, when markets were down, when nobody was paying attention, he kept buying and buying and buying. The process wasn't exciting, it wasn't impressive, it wasn't social media worthy, but it worked. Years turned into decades, and something remarkable started happening. The money Robert invested began working harder than Robert himself. While Michael's payments kept demanding more money, Robert's investments kept producing more money. One lifestyle required constant feeding, the other kept growing on its own. But nobody could see it, because investment accounts don't sit in driveways. Financial freedom doesn't announce itself. Real wealth is often invisible, and invisible things are easy to underestimate. For more than 20 years, that's exactly what everyone did. Then the economy changed. Not overnight, but enough. Prices increased, insurance increased, repairs became more expensive, life became more expensive, and suddenly, the gap between looking wealthy and being wealthy started to matter. Michael felt it first. The mortgage still needed to be paid. The SUV still needed to be paid. The credit cards still needed to be paid. The lifestyle still needed to be maintained. Everything looked successful, but everything depended on the next paycheck, then the next one, then the next one. Meanwhile, Robert's life barely changed. No luxury payments, no pressure to impress anyone, no expensive image to maintain. For the first time, the difference became visible. And then the truth finally came out. The man everyone admired had a high income, but very little actual wealth. Years of upgrades, years of payments, years of looking successful. The man nobody noticed, the man most people ignored, the man nobody wanted to trade places with, he was the millionaire. Not because he earned extraordinary money, not because he inherited a fortune, not because he got lucky, because he spent decades doing ordinary things consistently, saving, investing, avoiding unnecessary debt, living below his means. The habits nobody admired created the results everyone admired. And suddenly, the neighborhood saw both men differently, not because either man changed, because the truth became visible. The biggest money myth isn't that wealthy people spend more. It's that wealth is supposed to be visible, because real wealth is invisible. You can't see an investment account. You can't see financial freedom. You can't see decades of discipline. What you can see is the car, the house, the watch, the vacation. And that's why so many people spend their lives trying to look wealthy instead of becoming wealthy. The millionaire next door usually doesn't look like a millionaire, and that's exactly why nobody notices him. The question isn't, which neighbor looked richer? The question is, which neighbor would you rather become?